Pastor Julian here with Central's Devotion for today. I hope you're doing well. I just got back from Agape Festival. It's a Christian music festival that's held out in the middle of nowhere, out in Mount Union, Pennsylvania. It's about 3.5 to 4 hours west of where our church is, on a farm called Agape Farm. And it is absolutely beautiful, the landscape. You're surrounded by mountains and blue skies and fluffy clouds and creeks. And then at nighttime, the stars come out. You can't help but be in awe of God's beautiful creation while you're there. The biggest part about this retreat, which is 4 nights and 5 days, is that we get to really bond with each other relationally, going to concerts, hearing speakers and music, and talking to each other, playing games and having fun in the creek. There's a lot of bonding with each other that goes on there. More importantly, there's a deepening of a relationship with God while we're there. And so the youth and young adults have been coming on this trip for decades now, and this is something that we look forward to. It's a very meaningful retreat, but it's camping. It's camping. It's out on a field, and it's tent camping, and it's a challenge to really plan for and to set up and to execute, to try and create your own basically a retreat center on the spot. We go each year with another church, Bellevue Presbyterian Church, or Bellevue EPC from Lancaster. Used to be my old church over 17 years ago, where I served as a youth minister. The youth minister there now, his name is Kevin, and he used to be my student there for 4 years. I spent lots of time with him, and he is wonderful. To make a long story short, this year was especially challenging. There are some things that happened where some people ended up not coming that I thought were going to come, and then those were coming were new. And so a lot of the responsibility for setting up the camp all fell on me. And it was emotionally and physically demanding, and things didn't go how we wanted. There was saturated ground, people getting stuck in their vehicles, getting stuck in the mud in their vehicles as we're trying to get to a campsite. Things took a lot longer to set up than we wanted to. The weather was not cooperative. Thursday night, things were fairly settled. We got a campfire going, and this is the second day that we're there. And a wind gust came, 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. Took our canopies, these huge canopies that we had, and threw one into a tent and bent up all the poles. The other one flew onto a rental truck that we had, and it created a big crisis for us, especially because the next day I knew there was going to be 96-degree weather and a beating sun. We needed those canopies. This situation unfolded we were blessed that God's hand protected everyone from being hit with any of the weights that were on the canopies or the canopies themselves. That we were all around the campfire at the time, and it was a very chaotic situation, and I was exhausted, and I saw this, and I'm just thinking, boy, it would be great to leave and just go home tomorrow. This is kind of it for me. And then Kevin, my former student, the youth minister at the other church, says something that I remember saying myself in these types of situations. He said to his kids, he's like, calm down. This is just youth ministry. This is how it goes, and we're going to get through this, and tomorrow's going to be fine. And I thought, man, he is so right. And I needed to hear those words, This is just ministry. This is par for the course. We're going to go through this stuff. We're going to go through this stuff as we do ministry for God. It's not going to be all perfect and go the way that we planned and wanted it to go. We need to be flexible at all times. And remember, this is just the way youth ministry goes. This is the way ministry goes. There's suffering, there's challenges along the way. And so I want to share with you 2 Timothy chapter 2, 3-4. 2 Timothy, this is the Apostle Paul writing to Timothy, who is a disciple of his, who is running a church and a congregation. The Apostle Paul writes to Timothy, "Share in suffering as a good soldier of Christ Jesus. No soldier gets entangled in civilian pursuits, since his aim is to please the one who enlisted him." I'm going to read that again. Share in suffering as a good soldier of Christ Jesus. No soldier gets entangled in civilian pursuits, since his aim is to please the one who enlisted him. I'm going through all this stuff, challenged. I'm getting entangled in these civilian pursuits when I'm losing sight of the real aim, which is to please the one who has enlisted me. And in this moment, I realize that we are all sharing in suffering as good soldiers of Christ Jesus. That we're here for him. That even though we're in the midst of this, we have seen God's hand so far providing and protecting us. And so here we are pressing on after this. We're able to get new canopies. My father-in-law brought one. The other church had another canopy that we hadn't set up yet. So we got these canopies set up so that we were able to at least be out of the sun. Not as big as the other canopy we had, but we were able to keep out of the beating sun. That was good enough. And God did some incredible things. We had one student, Emmy, who gave her life to Christ and wanted to get baptized. She was passionate. She wanted to get baptized. And so we baptized her in the creek there. And that was a wonderful moment with the whole group together, cheering her on and welcoming her into the family of Jesus Christ officially. And then we had other students who got to know God new and gave their lives to him and want to live their lives for Christ. God did some incredible things the rest of the time that we were there that wouldn't have happened if I just thought, all right, we're going to pack up and leave and give in. We pursued, we suffered together. And that's what we're supposed to do in life. When you find things not going the way that you want them to go, bear up with one another as soldiers of Christ Jesus. And remember, your aim is to please the one who's enlisted you. God bless you and have a great day.